Right, something new now. We're going to be looking at the Hornby catalogue from 1979. In the words of Kylie, we're taking a step back in time. That's one of the few music things we both like, by the way.
Kylie. He doesn't love a bit of Kylie.
So there's a catalogue from 79. The screensaver behind us, if you can see it, is actually me, around about 1979. Now that has been carbon dated. It hasn't really. To around 1979, reason being one of the coaches in that photo was introduced in 1979. And I'm still a very small lad on that one. So we're going to be having a look through this. We're going to move the camera, put it behind us so you can look through it with us. We've also got the Hornby Book of Trains, which also dates from 1979. And we've got a few models to show you, all of which were introduced in 1979, funnily enough. Not any other years, otherwise we'd be going through loads of models, but it's just the ones introduced in these specific years. You know what the best-selling single was in the UK in 1979?
Go on.
It was Moving Rabbit Classic, by Bright Eyes by Art Garfunkel.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Who didn't love that?
It's quite... Is it from Watership Down?
Well
Tear
remembered.
welling up there, yeah. Popular TV shows introduced that year. Dukes of Hazzard.
Oh, I used to love that.
Yeah. Heart to Heart.
Oh, that was one of my faves.
Minder.
Wheelie dealing.
It's a good year. Top film from that year. What was it now? I think it was Superman. Tales of the Unexpected was also a popular TV show introduced that year. That was good. What have we got? Trivial Pursuit was launched.
Oh, really?
The Sony Walkman was launched.
Everybody had a Sony Walkman.
Yeah. Best-selling car that year? Have a guess. Don't look.
Is that a Ford?
Yeah.
Is it? I've no idea.
Go on.
Cortina.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
3 years in a row, the best-selling car. Any other fascinating facts?
I wasn't even sure if it was around that era,
No.
but no.
Right, let's shift the camera so you can have a look at what we're looking at. It's going to run out real quick. Right, so here we go. Front cover, 1979 catalogue. Mallard, that was one of the new locos introduced in that year. And cracking photo there. As I say, Hornby did do a good job of selling you a model railway, a world you could create, rather than just saying, here's the model. You know, they actually sold it to you, so it looked, you know, very desirable. Big news, the very first DCC system, Hornby 01. I'm not sure how many years that lasted, but I don't think it was cheap back in the day. I know two people who had one when they were new, and I do remember them having problems with it operating. I'm sure when it worked, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
Everything was alight. The locos would do, you know, drive towards each other, you know, things like that. It was permanently live. It was absolutely fantastic. But it was expensive, and it had it's like anything when it's new. It has teething problems, doesn't it? So let's see what's on the next page.
Fabulous though.
More 01. There you go. I mean, look at him there. He's got his pen on top to make notes. You fill it in here with details of each loco. So far ahead of its time. I mean,
Yeah.
And there's the chip, or the module as they called it then. It goes in the locos. I do remember it wouldn't fit in the very small tank engines. Quite a chunky thing compared to today's. But yeah, this was the future.
And you can add as many of these on as you wanted.
He's added a couple on there, hasn't he? I know.
That must be a big layout then, really.
Yeah. I mean, a few people might still be running these. It looks great. Now you just have a tiny little handheld thing doing all the same stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, let's turn over. Here's the introduction. This 25th edition of the Hornby catalogue marks a tremendous breakthrough in the world of model railways, particularly fitting for a Silver Jubilee occasion. With 01, the ultimate control system, Hornby are bringing the control of model railways right to the forefront of modern microchip computer technology. The silicon chip, in quotation marks, microprocessor has already revolutionised consumer electronics. This is all true. This was all very pertinent. It did revolutionise things. You know, look at today's model railways. It's all DCC.
Yes.
This is where it started. What have we got on your side? Just the contents, isn't it? Yeah.
Just move over a little so you can see it all. But yeah, it's... Look at these little figures. You can see it on a windy day, somebody holding on to the hat.
Fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the sort of thing we like to look at on when we go to the exhibitions.
How lifelike things are.
Oh, there's me.
It could be you.
Yeah. So these we're onto the train sets here. Let's see what it says. There is a Hornby set which will suit you, whether you are a steam supporter or a diesel diehard. There's a t-shirt slogan for you, isn't there? Yeah, so that one and that chap there, he's got the Duchess of Sutherland set. I have got a Duchess of Sutherland loco, but that came out in 78, that one. And the first set, the starter set, so to speak, is the Great Western Railways freight set. An excellent starter set containing the delightful and authentic GWR experimental loco number 101. The wagons, all very familiar to us, aren't they?
Aren't they?
We've not got the loco, but all these wagons were in so many sets back in the day. Next to that, LMS local goods set. That loco, the real one, is actually preserved. It was at the Midland Railway. I don't know if it still is. Again, familiar wagons. That's one of my favourite here. Class 25, I've got one of those. Nice model, like the Bobos, you know, a very handy size for your smaller layouts. Again, familiar set of wagons there. And next door we have, so I think that's the B12. We've got one of those as well. That's actually loco drive. And again, you've got all the bright novelty wagons, so to speak. Bird's Eye, Smith's, Crisp Snacks and Nuts. Remember having those. And the United Dairies one. Well, here we go. The Mammoth Express Freight set. That's the Class 47. That was new this year, that loco. Prior to that, they'd done it in a blue. So I mean, look how many wagons you get in the set there.
It's good going, isn't it?
Oh, you'd like the one next door. Look at that. Those little cutie wagon coaches, as you call them. Yeah, we're going to be picking one of those up soon, aren't we?
They are so cute, though.
And with total contrast, next week you've got the high-speed train set. So that must have been knocked down to a certain price because you've only got one carriage with it. Yeah, it's big because you've got two locos, so
Yeah,
one's
yeah.
not motorised. But this does have working lights. But obviously, all the kids back then would have wanted the Intercity 125. That's to uncouple it.
Oh, is it?
And also, if it's off the track, it pushes it back on the track. So it's to... That thing pops up in the middle, so you put your couplings above it, like with those there, and they lift up to uncouple. But yeah, built down to a price, with one carriage, more affordable, everybody wants that train set. Because of course, if they buy that, they're going to buy more, aren't they? Oh, lo and behold, Intercity 37 there.
He doesn't like 37.
We've got one of those. It's not the most detailed of model. The bogies are all wrong for a start. But back in the day, there wasn't much competition for Hornby. I think Mainline and Airfix had got the ranges out around 76, 77, and they moved the game on. Hornby were playing catch-up, and they were getting there this year.
Yeah.
When you look at this one here, the Duchess of Sutherland, this was introduced in 78.
That's
You've got your
nice, that.
separate handrails on. Still tender drive, but a nice looking model. I think this had working lights. Somehow. We've got one of those, the lights don't work. But the problem with that model is the colour's all wrong.
Oh, really?
It's too
Is it
pinky,
not?
yeah, it's not dark enough.
Ah.
How you get something like that wrong, I don't know. What? This is interesting. We went to an exhibition recently and we saw this set up for the first time ever, one of these.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I remember that now.
So it's a 3-part pre-formed layout containing 3 tough matte finish styrene sections complete with locating dimples. Okay, so we saw it set up. We'll put a bit of a clip of that layout in the video towards the end. And we've finished waffling.
Look at that.
But the chap said it was actually of of German origin by another company at Hornby sold.
Oh.
Yeah. He explained why as well. Oh, look at it. You got Dad there. I mean, look at this kid here. That look of concentration there. Dad's like, careful, cost me a lot of money. And he's like in a world of his own, and he's thinking about having his shredded wheat, that one. I'm going to play with filling the wagons up. So they're all having fun. But yeah.
That's the idea of these, though, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, what you'll notice about these Hornby catalogues now, there's no girls in them.
Ah, none at all.
Girls didn't play with trains. I think they did when they were allowed. So these are your track packs. So you'd start off with that. Then you buy the extension, which is coloured there. Then you'd add this. So you'd add the red bit to your basic layout. Then you'd add the green bit. Then I think you added the blue bit. So you got your accessories on the other page here. That's how you used to get the power to the track. You've got this foam underlay.
Ah, yes, yes.
It used to disintegrate though.
Oh, did it?
Yeah. Fencing, level crossing. Your class 29 loco there. Keep meaning to buy one of those. Then you got your old Hornby track. This is the old style points with a little button at the side rather than where you're moving across. A bit more complicated, a bit more fiddly. And back then it was all made in Austria and it was steel rather than nickel.
Ah.
And to show just how much track you could buy, look at that.
That's some fiddly hard.
Yeah, that's amazing. And now we get onto the locos. So that picture there, that's all the locos that were introduced in 1979. So you've got a Class 47 Mammoth, the Western, which is a bit bright there. It's supposed to be maroon.
Oh.
Yeah, the Mallard in green. And the Duke of Sutherland and the London Brighton South Coast Railway tank engine in brown. Let's see what Hornby have to say here. The formidable Hornby range of locos is further enhanced this year by the addition of 5 new subjects covering all areas of the country. I won't go into all that. Oh, Mallard on shed there. A strange decision to introduce it in green rather than blue.
I know.
Obviously, if it's in blue, it'd have to have the wheels covered up. A bit harder for them to make, but again, I think everybody would have wanted the Mallard in blue.
Yes, I agree with that one.
Yeah, although we've got a green one and not a blue one.
We want a blue one now.
So it says the holder of the world speed record for steam at 126 mile an hour, this splendid loco is now preserved in the National Railway Museum at York in blue. Then you've got the Duchess of Sutherland under there in that slightly off-coloured maroon. And you've got Great Western King class loco, which is very nice. And you've got Britannia. So all these are tender drive.
Oh, right.
But Britannia is an older model. As you can see, it's not got the separate handrails on it, like the 3 above have. So that's an older model. They would replace that in 2 years with a more detailed one. What have we got on this side? Got the Evening Star at the top. Again, tender drive. And you got a Class 5 loco, which was never in that colour. And then you got the Flying Scotsman. That's a very old model, because that's actually loco drive. You've got the plastic wheels on the tender.
Ah, right.
I had one of those. And you got Mammoth, which we'll now have a look at now.
Yeah.
Right, so this is Mammoth. It came out in 1979. Now this is a really early version because the later ones were not coloured plastic, they were actually painted. Now the thing about this one, when we're having a look at the instructions on here, it's actually dated at the top there. R073, 21st of February 1979. So it's a very early model. And you look at the notes at the bottom there, actually 2 more locos that were released that year, saying 4 released in 1979. So it's a very early model. So there you go. Very, very good condition. I don't think this had actually been ran when I purchased it about 5 years ago. It's got working head codes as well. We're not going to run it now. we'll put that there. So what else have we got? We've got a Patriot class Duke of Sutherland. That's quite a rare model. That was sort of introduced as a companion, you know, to the Duchess of Sutherland.
Oh, right, yeah.
People would want the other one as well. And you've got the first Hornby Western there. I mean, how bright is that red? That's supposed to be a dark maroon. Not a patch compared to the Lima model. Because you see these here,
Yeah.
they're supposed to be joined up. Hornby have done it because the bogey will catch. You have to have the red bit moving with the bogey, which is completely wrong. So that's not something I'd want to purchase. So right, you've got a Castle class at the top, very popular model. This one in the middle, I think that came out in 1975. That was the first steam loco they did to have a glazed cab. And you've got an owner model here, the plastic wheels on the tender. So all those are actually loco drive, because the Castle's got plastic wheels as well. Then you've got your 37. Then your HST must be one of the most popular models they've ever done.
Really popular, aren't they?
And you've got your tank engines and a shunter. And your Class 25s, 29s and the high mech on this side. That's all your Bobos. And what's it say about the coaches?
Sleeping car. Wouldn't you still love to be able to go into one of those?
Yeah, you
Little
like them, don't you?
cuties,
Yeah.
Little cuties.
I do prefer the teak ones though. But look at your nice photo here. And look at the driver chatting down. So whoever did these photographs loved what they were doing to put, you know, to create these scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To make them so lifelike.
They are lifelike because they're not realistic models compared to today, but they've created a world that's, you know, that's believable. To a young kid looking through the catalogue and think, yeah, they're so imaginative children, aren't they?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter that it's not that detailed. They didn't know any different then. So those are the same type of coaches, the XLMS ones in a different livery. And you've got your Royal Mail set there, look.
Oh, yeah, well, it's when things became more interesting. You know, you could do things with them. You know, getting stuff on and off the train.
But they never work.
Oh.
We've got one, it's hopeless. Either that or I'm hopeless.
We did try.
And your coach lighting unit, they fit your coaches so they light up. Well, this is that classic image of the people on a windy day going for the Pullman, going to the coast. That's what I think they're doing anyway.
But yeah. He's got a big bag there, the guy carrying the suitcases.
So I've got a few of those Pullmans. They are one of my favourite coaches.
Yeah.
Then you've got your more modern ones, your Mark II, your Mark I buffet car, your Mark I sleeper, and the new Mark IIIs that had just come out for the HST. So the one that came out that year was the first class one. That came out in 79, so there it is. These are too short.
Oh.
You've got not enough windows, so Hornby made the windows smaller a few years later, but they didn't increase the length of these. These should be about this long.
Ah.
But again, they're quite toy-like, aren't they?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good shot there, look. Of your wagons in the yard.
And that's what makes them look real.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
these type of shots, yeah. So they're not the best models, but they create an atmosphere. You know, they sell the product in a way where you think, I can build on my basic train set. So what have we got here? I mean, these were so common, these wagons. I mean, Hornby was by far the most popular model railway manufacturer then. There wasn't a lot of competition yet.
Was it later on that others came?
It was starting from 76, 77, but it wasn't until Bachmann came on the scene that they had real competition.
Right.
Mainline did a better model, more detailed, much more realistic. And they were about the same price. Lima undercut them, but they didn't have as big range. Not yet, anyway. But none of them lasted. Lima were bought by Hornby. Mainline pulled out of the market and ended up sort of being Bachmann. It's a long story. But Hornby do still dominate. So what have we got here?
Gosh, there's all sorts on here, isn't there?
I mean, a couple of these wagons we've got.
Sometimes when you see one of these books, you think, I'd like all of this. Every one of them you'd like one of. You know, to be able to sort of put it together and sort of say, yes.
I think at the time I probably did do that. I mean, having saying that, I've probably got quite a few of those now.
Do we have one of those?
Yes. I'll tell you which ones we've got. We've got...
Let's move it back so we can see.
I mean, they're so cheap to get these days. We've got that one, 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 that one.
So we've only missing 3 off here then?
We've got that one, we've got that one, that one, that one, and that one.
Oh, okay. So we're not doing too bad off there, really.
No, and here's a couple of them now. These were the ones that came out this year, the more interesting ones. I bought these from Toy Fairs recently. So this is the long wheelbase rail freight wagon. I did it in
Is that one?
Yeah. Just look slightly different. Oh, there you go. So that's that one. You look underneath, you've got your wibbly wobbly wheels. As that one will have. They're massive, these wagons, aren't they? So that one there is the GLW open wagon, and this one is the GLW steel carrier.
Ah.
There's quite a lot of detail on that with all the separate printing, actually, isn't there? You look on the side. You see that? Yeah, not bad detail for an old Hornby model. That's quite nice. So that's those two. They go very well together. Right, crack on. Oh, here you go. Your favourite now.
See, I love things that do things. And it's a win-win with this, but look at that.
I mean, this is an amazing photograph, isn't it?
Isn't it?
Really selling the idea that my crane can fix my crash.
Yeah.
This thing here, what's it called? The operating ore wagon set. We have got one of those.
Yes.
Complete, which we bought at a garden centre. And we will do a video on it at some point. It's just having the space to put it somewhere. But yeah.
Yeah.
That is a great photo. That's real.
It just shows you from this to this, you know, and what you can create.
So that's basically showing you what you get. That's showing you what you can create. And you got your controllers. That was a standard Hornby one back in the day. I had a couple of those. And you got your smaller ones on this side. These are for your isolating your points and your lights and stuff. Ah, now the buildings. I mean, look at that. What a great photo that is. All LMS down there. This must have been great layout back in the day. What does it say? Desirable properties for sale. When steam traction finally disappears from the railways of Britain, as it most certainly will as time takes its toll, there will still remain a massive reminder of the heyday of steam travel. The railway stations and the buildings themselves.
Great, aren't they?
I mean, railway architecture is a marvellous thing. He's lifting his hat.
That lady's still
She's still there, yeah. Still must have got the wrong train. They don't look happy there. Look at him there. He's had a bit of time in the bar, hasn't he? Look at him. Puffing his belly out. Got to get on this ruddy train. What have we got here? You got your little station hall. I like these. Those little things. I can't think what they're called. But they were good. I mean, that's a lovely, nice trees behind there. Aren't they? Quite nice looking.
Yes.
I mean, the buildings are plastic. They're not the most realistic. In fact, we've got one of them over there, actually, the signal box. It'll be in here somewhere. We've got water tower. They still do that. We've got one. They still give that out with the train sets. I'm sure they do, yeah. Some of these things are in the catalogue, you know, for so long.
Yeah.
Then you got your turntable. And that's the motor, which is actually a locomotive. You put into the turntable so it works.
Fab.
And you got your signals and your signal box. Doncaster on that one. There you go.
Yeah, it's exactly the same, isn't it?
Apart from somebody's melted the roof on it. We'll actually go back to that photo. Can you turn the page, please? There was that there, look. Somebody's put it on the end of the signal box. The picture of the poleman, look. Can you see it?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I was wondering. But yeah.
Somebody's bunged it on there. Yeah. This came with the Class 58 freight set from my Uncle Roger. Now I've just realised what it is. I didn't know.
Yeah.
Look at the detail on that.
Yeah.
That's... I don't know where they would have got that from, just to have it on its own. I mean, it doesn't really go with our layout, but I'm tempted just to leave it there.
Does it fit?
It's yeah, it fits on the track absolutely fine. Those are the basic Hornby plastic wheels. It's just very simple, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's still better than a Lima one though. So on the next page, we have the track plans catalogue. There we go. Now I'll show you. This is we're going a bit off tangents here, but we'll just have a quick look at this. We could do a separate video on this. Is that Patrick Duffy out of Dallas? It is, isn't it?
No.
No? You don't look particularly happy. What I've noticed about this catalogue is there's not many people in it. Well, that's quite funny. You know, compared to some of the older ones, they have loads of people in.
Yeah.
Actually enjoying the railways. This year doesn't. So again, a quick rundown, then you get into some layout ideas. I'll show you the layout I had. It was this one here.
My goodness.
That's the one I had. An 8x4 baseboard. You got this elevated section, look, going across the bridge. So all this was landscaped.
Oh.
Yeah, we didn't use these plastic ones. We had wooden blocks, then hills over it. So it was really nice. I didn't have the turntable, it was slightly different in there. But that's the one I had. However, before that, I had that one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you could stand in the middle. It was massive. It was that one. However, Mum didn't like this one because there was no other space in my bedroom for us to move. So she insisted on downsizing.
Ah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Which I would agree, because that took all of the room apart from this bit here where my bed was. There was no other room for anything else. And I wasn't the tidiest child, so that went. And it was probably the best decision. But yeah, so we'll get rid of the track plans book. Then look, it came out that year to celebrate the anniversary, the 25th anniversary, was the Hornby Book of Trains. I looked through the Hornby Book of Trains that came out that year. It was sold in the catalogue. So the first bit I'm going to take us to is a picture of the factory being constructed down in Margate.
Look at this.
Yeah, we see a lot of those at the toy fairs and that, don't we? So that is the TT and the double O version. It shows you how different they are in size. Obviously TT just been reintroduced. It's the Evening Star, one of the most popular models. Some of the sets, oh, we've got that. Some of the older books of trains, some of the older catalogues, which we'll be taking a look at. Obviously not in that order. Oh, there you go.
That gives you a better idea, doesn't it?
Yeah. We can't see those small ones. So that's the Hornby Book of Trains anyway. Maybe take a look at that in another video.
We'll do this one while we're here.
Yeah. I've not seen one of these before. It's the old Hornby 3-part layout, isn't it?
Sorry?
Is it the old Hornby 3-part set?
Yeah, it was a triangle Hornby. It was in the catalogue. 1978 and 1979.
It was only in for 2 years, wasn't it?
No?
It was just the 2 years it was in.
It was only those 2
Yeah,
years.
got those
It was
catalogues.
probably made by Nock in Germany,
All right.
because if you look at the gradient there,
Yeah.
as it goes round the English way on the left, the gradient starts here and then is there, it's quite steep. Whereas if you go round anti-clockwise, like the Germans do, the gradient starts here and then is there, much easier gradient. So
I don't remember when I looked at it in the catalogue actually noticing the gradient that much.
Yeah, yeah.
It's when you see it like this, it's really pronounced, isn't it?
So it's got to be able to do its job, hasn't it, really, to get up?
Well, it's designed, it's in 3 parts. You keep this in the wardrobe, mummy goes shopping,
Yes.
out it comes, slap the track down, get your trains out, have a good play. You've got about an hour and a half,
Yeah.
and then you hear the front door go, and it's all off the track, everything's good. And mum shouts up and says, "Are you playing trains again?" "No, mum,